Friends, and in this video we are going to discuss about how to write the course to solve this problem. Now this problem says that you have to find the sum of the natural numbers. The final number n will be entered by the user, and this is the sum of the squares of the natural numbers. Same way you can find the sum of cube of the natural numbers. So the idea goes like this: if you want to find out the answer for this, then programmatically we simply consider that we just take one variable, and from here slowly like the suppose you put 1 into this, then next time you put 2 into this, and I name this variable as z, or you can also write sum. So this is our idea. Now let's see how we going to achieve this. So we write n, where the number of terms, like the how many terms user is going to entering, like till what number he wants to find out the sum of the natural numbers. Like, so say n is int, and input number of, or you can write enter the number of terms, and then whatever user enters it goes there. Then I'll create like this variable. I'll go and I'll make it z, or I make it sum is better. So I remove this one. I will use sum as a variable which will store. So I'll write sum, and then I'll write equal to 0. Now you see again this program here, I have to start from 1 and then I have to go to n. So I will create one range function, like the x equals range, and then I'll write 1 till n plus 1, because it just goes one little less. So the things goes like the 1 to whatever number user enters, one more goes into this range, and that value is stored into x. So I'll do that. I'll run the loop for I in x sum equals sum plus I, and this is done. So slowly loop keeps running, and one goes like the first I is 1, and then 1 goes into this container, then I becomes 2, so 2 goes into this container. Suppose user have entered 10, so the finally 10 plus 1 11, so 10 also will go into this number, and this sum will finally have the sum of all the numbers into this. So now let's print out and see how it has done. Print sum equals plus sum. Now here I run the code, and I entered number 10, and then it says that it can, because this is not the error, this is saying that this one needs to be, because concatenation means print. If I write just print sum, there is no problem with this, it will run. See, if I run this, then here I enter 10, and then it gives me the answer 55. If you count from 1 to 10, you will always get 55. This you can verify for yourself. But here I say I just wanted the answer to be represented like the sum equals sum. Then I have to typecast this sum into string, because this double quote, this thing is string, and this sum is the integer value, because I'm storing sum of integer numbers in them. So this has to be made like string plus string. It's called concatenation or addition of strings. So now if I run it again, then see, I enter number as 100, and then I get 5050. Very true. Same way, if here in the second, just there is nothing, there is no basic difference between these two, because this also. But here the question is that I becomes 1 square. 1 square means I becomes I into I. So this will become sum of the squares of the first n natural number. So I write here, just don't have to do anything, you just write I into I and the job is done. So you run the program again and then you write 10, then this is the sum of the squares of the first 10 natural number. If I write here is I, then that will become sum of cubes of the first 10 natural number. So with the help of this looping you can achieve this idea. I think you enjoyed it. Just try to practice few more like that and you will have the better control over the for loop. Thank you very much. And if you want to suppose if you just have seen the code, so I just say that if I instead of using this I just use while loop, so can I achieve that? Yes, you can. So I'm just continuing in the same video. So here I do not need the range. I will simply write, I'll set my I to 1 and then I write while I is less than or equal to what the user has entered, while I less than or equal to n. So I have written equal to, so it is beginning with I and to what the number has entered by the user. Got it? So here is sum into I into I. Then you have to increment the loop variable, because now loop variable has to be incremented, otherwise I will remain I only. So I will become I plus 1. This is done. So or also you can write shorthand I plus equal 1, then also it is done. So now just check it out. This PyCharm doesn't like indentation, unnecessary indentation. That's why these red things, they are not errors, they are just like uh, say if you see them, say missing white spaces around the operator. So which operator? Yes, here I have to provide some uh, space between them so that the yes, now I think I have done it. So this is I into I, just here write I so that you can verify that what is the sum of the. Now enter the number, I enter 10 and I'll get answer 55. So here it is. Again if you write, so with the for loop, with the while loop, both you can achieve this feat. There is no big deal with that. Understood? So just practice few more and you will have the better control. Thank you very much.